Premier of Greenland, representatives of states and governments, leaders of indigenous organizations, participants from business, science, research, and environmental organizations, dear friends. The opening of the Arctic Circle Greenland Forum with more than 350 participants from almost 20 countries confirms that since its foundation a few years ago, the Arctic Circle has become the most wide-ranging network of Arctic dialogue and cooperation. Together with the large annual assemblies in Iceland, the first two forums in Alaska and Singapore, the Greenland Forum here in Nuuk presents our vision and determination to bring to the people of the Arctic a brighter future, while sharing with others the global responsibility for the sustainability of the Arctic and our planet. I sincerely thank the government of Greenland for its constructive and enthusiastic partnership in the organization of this forum, for its insight into which issues and challenges should acquire priority on our agenda, how the program here in Nuuk should reflect the most promising areas of economic progress, as well as important frameworks for the empowerment of the people and the fulfillment of their hopes. It has been my privilege as President to witness the democratic advancement of Greenland, and our cooperation in the preparation of this Arctic Circle Forum here in Nuuk has confirmed my conviction that together we have indeed entered a new era. Greenland, which, like my own country, Iceland, was for centuries remote from the leading countries and continents, is now center stage in the global vision of how the Arctic must play a crucial role in the future of our planet. When the Arctic Council was established following the end of the Cold War, tension and military confrontation were replaced by a journey in cooperation. Previously, hostile countries came together at the same table, determined to map out step by step how constructive dialogue, research, and cooperation could guide the future of the Arctic. The indigenous people and their organizations required an important role in this process. And in this, Greenland and its leaders provided inspiring influence. And as we progressed into the 21st century, the need for a wider, more informal, completely open and democratic platform where everyone could join in the discussion, presenting their projects and ideas, became clear to many. And thus we came together 3 years ago to establish the Arctic Circle with a mission to strengthen the role of the people, but also to support the Arctic Council and all the authorities responsible for Arctic affairs. The growing involvement of countries outside the Arctic, leading states in Europe and Asia, as well as their institutions and enterprises, was also a key component in the creation of the Arctic Circle. And the annual assemblies every October have confirmed the wisdom of this arrangement. In the first 3 years, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, China, Japan, Korea, Singapore, and many others have actively participated in the assemblies, presenting their contributions and projects in both plenary and specialized sessions. This global dimension of the Arctic Circle was also evident in the forum in Alaska in August of last year, and even more so in the forum in Singapore in November. And now here in Nuuk, we are also witnessing this Asian and European presence, a global engagement in addition to the participation by the Arctic states. It is, I think, also highly significant that the Greenland Forum welcomes strong delegations from the neighboring countries to the east and to the west of Greenland. Because within the geographical Arctic structure, Canada, Greenland, and Iceland form a logical neighborhood within which economic and social progress can be furthered by close cooperation. These three countries are close enough geographically to make cooperation in many fields, both practical and advantageous. And as Greenland works to advance in the areas outlined just now in the speech by Premier Kim Kielsen, the involvement of partners from the two neighboring countries, Canada and Iceland, can lead to successful results. The logistics of air traffic, sea transport, tourism, infrastructure connections, and also the experience in the sustainable use of natural resources all make the vision of such tripartite cooperation among these Arctic neighbors both practical and positive. And I therefore welcome here today warmly the strong participation by Canada, the delegation which the Premier of Quebec and his administration, as well as other regions of Canada, have sent to this forum. And I thank them for their engagement. I am also very pleased to see from my own country, Iceland, so many participants, business leaders, officials, heads of universities, experts, entrepreneurs, and others. But I also want to acknowledge here today the presence of distinguished participants from the United States, who once again have demonstrated their commitment to the successful future of the Arctic by joining forces with us here in Nuuk. But this forum is, however, primarily dedicated to the people of Greenland. It's a testimony to the important role of Greenland and how constructive Arctic and global cooperation can strengthen the prosperity and the welfare of the people of this country, how the advance of Greenland can serve as a model for other Arctic regions, as well as also other parts of the world on faraway continents where indigenous inhabitants claim the right to determine their own future. Greenland is, as we know, half the size of Western Europe, the largest territory in the Arctic, where the people have acquired constitutional self-government and can thus, to a large extent, determine their own future. And by hosting the Arctic Circle Forum here in Nuuk, the government of Greenland sends an important signal to us all, issuing a broad invitation to constructive engagement in the spirit of our mutual interest in the success of the Arctic and its people. And the Arctic Circle is indeed honored to be a part of this journey, to join Greenland in hosting this forum, which is, in fact, the largest international gathering on the Arctic ever to take place in Greenland. The forum can, in many ways, become the foundation of further progress. And within the Arctic Circle, there is a willingness to continue this cooperation. and plan, if found acceptable, regular Arctic Circle Greenland forums, which would perhaps take place every second or third year here in Greenland, and would thus, together with the annual assemblies in Iceland and forums in other countries, strengthen our shared global platform. The program here in Nuuk reflects, as we know, new direction in the areas of economic progress, investment, and finance. Instead of emphasizing, as was the practice in previous years, a few large industrial projects, mining and fossil fuel production, our attention here at the Forum will be on gradual progress in the evolution of air transport and cargo shipping, modern tourism based on the growing global interest in the unique nature of the North, the utilization of ocean resources and other areas of economic progress which can be developed on the basis of existing opportunities, directed by the policy to empower the inhabitants and serve their economic and social interest. We will also examine how new Arctic financial structures with international involvement will further investment and help to coordinate infrastructure projects across the Arctic in order to establish what we could call a viable pan-Arctic infrastructure system. In this respect, the coordinated vision and involvement of Canadian, Greenlandic, and Icelandic partners in cooperation with others is especially relevant, given our geographic locations and shared interests and experiences. And this geographic tripartite dimension will, of course, as I said before, be strengthened by the active involvement of partners from Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world. And therefore, it is highly significant that during this forum, we will in one session benefit from the perspective of distinguished European and Asian participants who will share with us their vision of a successful Arctic future. But let us remember that the development of the Arctic regions is, however, not only about economic progress. Education and health are also crucial components in the lives of the people, their well-being and the education of new generations. And these crucial dimensions will be discussed both here in the Cultural House and also when we move on the last day to the University of Greenland, where research and innovation and the role of Arctic universities will be on the agenda. And I also want to thank the University of Greenland for its very constructive contribution to this forum, and hope that together we can indeed build a dynamic and forward-looking educational network across the Arctic, giving the young generation the conviction that they can indeed enjoy a shared future rooted in their home regions, but strengthened by constructive global engagement. I hope, therefore, dear friends, we will all witness in the coming 3 days how the Arctic Circle Greenland Forum will serve to demonstrate an advanced engagement by the inhabitants of the Arctic, how they can, in cooperation with partners from other parts of the world, both near and far, seek paths in economic and social progress and strengthen their infrastructure and their communities, as well as enjoying a good education and health systems. The forum also consolidates the new dimension of the Arctic Circle to create, in addition to the large international assemblies every October in Iceland, platforms in different parts of the world, where specific aspects of Arctic future can be extensively discussed and new dimensions examined and explored. And in this way, the Greenland Forum is a certain milestone in the global engagement of the indigenous people of the Arctic. And it is both an honor and a privilege for the Arctic Circle family to join the government of Greenland in this important endeavor. We are indeed determined to build a strong foundation for our cooperation, but also a sustainable and successful future for the people across the Arctic. Acutely aware of the new global significance of this, the most northernmost part of our planet. And I hope you all feel inspired to be a part of this fascinating journey. And your presence here today is a testimony to our joint commitment to create a new Arctic epoch. And with these words, I welcome you again and wish all of us constructive and successful sessions in the coming days. Thank you very much.